rate moves. So let's get right to the floor show. Joining me now, our floor show traders, John Najarian and Tom Hayes. John, what do you make of this 8-day NASDAQ streak, and how long do you think it lasts?
Well, you've had a very nice move out of the leader, the biggest capitalized stock in the world, Apple, despite the fact that there aren't exactly bunting or banners being put up for the new iPhone 15. Despite that, Liz, this one continues to drive higher. That helps lift the NASDAQ. Your 28% move out of Datadog that you accurately said, number one in the kennel, number one in my heart, Liz. Other than you, okay, it's number two in my heart behind you. But this is a phenomenal report. Like you said, 25% growth year over year.
Nice.
And great guidance going forward, Liz.
True, yeah. Let's not forget the guidance. But when you bring in the voices of the Fed heads, we have three of them speaking here. And Tom, when you look at what Fed Governor Christopher Wallace said specifically, he was out there today trying, it almost felt like he was dashing the hopes of people who were thinking that inflation is on its way to being slayed and that we go back to prices like old times. He said, quote, what people have in mind now is for prices to return to earlier levels. That's not going to happen. And then we had Michelle Bowman, a Fed governor, and then the Dallas Fed, Lori Logan, president there. They're both saying, hey, you know what? We could see another rate hike at some point.
Yeah, and I think Logan, though, did acknowledge that we're sufficiently restrictive right now. So if you're a short seller, what you need to know right now into year end is the beatings will continue until morale improves, because at the end of the day, they all came into earnings season super high up in cash. They were short long-term bonds, and expectations were super low, negative 40 basis points of earnings growth. Now we're at plus 3.7% earnings growth with 12% earnings growth the next year. So you got to look for opportunities. Yes, we've gone straight up. We might consolidate a little bit, but I think the path of least resistance into year end is going to be up.
John, what about those bears and the ones who had, as Tom says, gone short? A lot of hedge funds were short. They've gotten squeezed, certainly. They're counting out this market. But you've been able to identify certain opportunities where people should be bearish. Where are you bearish right now?
Believe it or not, we're still bearish on many of the automakers, but Ford in particular, Liz, had a lot of speculative cash flowing in on the put side, which, as you know, is an insurance policy or a bet that the market goes lower. And they were buying an in-the-money put in the case of Ford. So that means that they didn't think that it was just going to fall. They wanted to participate basically dollar for dollar to the downside in Ford. And all of these automakers have taken on a lot more cost, Liz, because of what has happened with the new contracts that they've signed. Perhaps very deserved, but nonetheless, that cuts into profitability.
Yeah, it's a $10.09 stock right now. Annual low here was about $9. Let me just check it. $9.63. Ford, I mean, what can you say? I want to see that company succeed. I love the big autos here in the U.S., but where are you long, John?
Well, you mentioned about that 4% drop for light sweet crude. We had unusual activity in several airlines, but JetBlue, $4.30 this morning. They came in buying upside calls that expire on Friday, Liz. So it's not a lot of time to be right, but nonetheless, they're buying this Friday and next Friday calls. They think the stock goes higher, and this is their biggest cost, is jet fuel. And the fact that crude oil is down, I think you'll start seeing some more bets come in on the airline stocks.
Interesting point. Yes. Everything is interwoven, isn't it, Tom? So let me talk about where you see real opportunity right now, because like you said, short sellers just keep getting their tuchuses smacked.
Yeah, so they were record short the 10-year, and what's happened is 10-year yields have collapsed down to 4.55 as of today, what's going to happen is peak rates narrative is going to permeate, which means companies with a little leverage on their balance sheet that got hammered are now going to be able to rebound. Two big-time turnaround stories. Number one is VF Corp. People are probably having a tough time with this one. Darryl Bracken is the new CEO. He came from...
Hold on. Yeah. Hold that thought, because this is the parent company of Vans, Timberland, the North Face, bunch of these apparel companies, and they got hammered recently. A terrible quarter.
North Face is up, Vans is down. That's their problem. Europe is up, U.S. is down. China and Asia are up, U.S. is a problem. However, When he came into Logitech, the stock was down 82% in 2013. He turned the company around. It was a 26 bagger by 2021. If you invested $5 million, you made $133 million.
Oh my God!
He's going to turn around this company. We're confident in his ability to do so.
Look, here's the Logitech screen. When he was, when did he become CEO there?
2013. The stock was down 82%, just like VF Corp is right now. He delevered. He got the business going. He's doing the exact same thing. He fired the president of Vans. He's putting in a new president of Vans. He's selling the PAX business, Jansport, Eastpak. He's going to delever the balance sheet, and he's going to transfer
Let's show VF Corp again, because I mean, do you think that's a gutsy play? Would you be along that one, John? And if not, which apparel companies, retail companies, look like they could do well this holiday season?
Well, LVMH always, Liz. that would be my pick because, yeah, luxury doesn't know anything about recessions. Yeah. But I think Tom's on a very good run here with VF Corp. Picking up a stock in a market that looks like it's going from the lower left to the upper right. I think this one, in particular with the deleveraging that he described, I think that's a good bet at this level, Liz.
Let me just mention something in Techland. Microsoft. Microsoft is on track for a record close. You got any names in technology world?
Yeah, we own Amazon. We bought last fall when no one wanted tech, and we own Alphabet, which we also bought last fall when no one wanted tech. We like turnaround stories. You know that, Liz. We like to buy things that are unpopular, and when they get popular, we'll lay them off.
Okay, that's what you guys have discipline, both of you. I don't know how you do it, but John, Tom, thank you both very much for being our floor show traders today.